Hey, what's up, goal guards? Yeah, today we've got the Backup Goalie Blues, and you know we've all had them. Coach won't put you in, you feel like you're in a slump. Today I've got 5 ways how to get yourself back out on the ice. Stick around to find them out. How do you combat with Backup Goalie Blues? Well, goalies, I've got 5 mental goalie tips how to maximize your time as a backup and make sure you get back out there on the ice. The 5 ways to get rid of the Backup Goalie Blues are: first, focus on your game. Second, be a team player. Third, keep a positive attitude. 4, communicate with your coach. And 5, always be ready. Number 1, focus on your game. All right, goalies, so you haven't seen much game time lately, but that doesn't mean you're not on the ice. You're on the ice every single practice. This is where you're seeing the most ice time, so you've got to use that to your advantage. Take that time at practice to start focusing on skills to help you get better. Embrace that time you're on the ice to get better and to work on skills you might otherwise not have been focused on. We're all lucky to play hockey. Embrace that moment just to be at practice with your teammates and enjoy being on the ice. Focusing on you and focusing on your game also means touching up on everything else that we've talked about in our other videos. Start meditating, breathing, visualizing yourself on the ice in a game situation. A big one for me is to recenter yourself. Don't start second guessing everything you're doing just because you're not seeing game time. You might be doing everything right. The other goalie might just be on a hot streak. Control what you can control. You can't control how other people play. You can't control the decisions your coach might make. But you can control how you act on the ice and how much effort and how much work you put in at every single practice. Remember, control what you can control. Go out there and play your game the way you know how, and don't worry about all the external factors working against you. If you focus on yourself, trust me, the positive outcomes will come. And that, goalies, brings us into point number 2, keeping a positive attitude. We know nothing can bring us deeper and deeper into the blues than having a negative attitude about your situation. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be upset. That's gonna happen. But if you let those angry and upset feelings engulf you and take up every moment of your life, and that's all you think about, then you're just gonna bring more and more of those negative thoughts to yourself. The thing I always tell people to do is start small. Be grateful about the little things. When you get to the rink, be grateful about just being able to lace up your skates and hop on the ice for practice with a great group of teammates. If you start with these small things and you focus on what you're grateful for, it's going to be a lot easier to get right back into that groove of playing a sport you love and preparing for that game time that you know is going to come at some point. If we can be positive about everything leading up to that, once that big moment does come, you're going to be ready to go. And along the lines of positivity, I've seen a lot of great players and goalies' careers peter out because they get discouraged on themselves, or they're not happy that they're not playing, so they just give up. Don't give up just because you're not seeing the playing time that you want. If you have a passion for the game, you're going to put more effort in to try and get that playing time that you want. And positivity, well, your entire team feeds off that positivity, and that's going to get us into point number 3. Number 3, being a team player. This one's huge, guys. Your teammates build off positivity. They build off having everybody excited and being energetic on the bench. You don't want to be that guy that's mopey and upset at his own situation and therefore bringing down the rest of the team. You want to make sure that you're up on that bench and you're cheering everybody on just as if you were on that ice with them. Teammates and coaches, trust me, they notice if you check out. They notice if you have a bad attitude on the bench because you're not playing in the game. Don't be that person on the bench that brings down everybody else by your negative attitude. And most importantly, you've got to support that other goalie while they're in net. A goalie doesn't have too many people to turn to on the bench that understand what they go through. Remember, only a goalie understands what a goalie goes through, as the great Jacques Plante once said. While that goalie's in net, you're just as supportive as you are to any of your teammates. Cheering them on, congratulating them after a big win, clapping their gloves between periods, cheering them on after a big save. If you have a cold shoulder towards the other goalie on your team during a game and during practices, well, that's going to say more about your character than it actually does about them. And trust me, teammates notice it, coaches notice it. You've got to be supportive, you've got to be positive. Hopefully they do the same for you when you get your big opportunity. One awesome example I have of backup goalie support is Jake Allen last year during the 2019 playoff run for the St. Louis Blues. I'm sure Allen didn't expect to be caught in a backup position to a rookie as his team drove deeper and deeper into the playoffs. Did that stop him from being a great teammate or supporting his team? Not at all. Jake Allen studied the opponent goalies that the St. Louis Blues would be playing against and tried to mimic the way they stopped the puck and the way they played the game at practice with his teammates. This was to help his shooters learn how to score on the opposing goalies and hopefully give his team a better chance of winning a game. Obviously, it seemed to work pretty well for him, and his teammates all gave him a lot of credit for what he did and how he tried to help them become better players. And he was a big part of that Stanley Cup playoff run, even if for most of the games he was sitting on the bench. Number 4, and this is the hardest one of all, communicate with your coach. Nothing causes worse communication than when a player won't talk to his coach and a coach won't talk to his player. There's got to be an open line of communication, especially in the goaltending position, between players and their coaches. If you get a chance at practice, pull your coach aside. Ask for a couple minutes to talk to him. Make sure you talk about your game and what you can do to be better. This isn't attacking the coach's decisions. It never is. You've got to ask what you can do better to get yourself out there on the ice. A coach wants to see your commitment to the team and your commitment to yourself. They've got 20 other players they've got to keep track of, and that might not always show through. By pulling them aside and asking them what can you do better on the ice, it shows you're committed to yourself, you're committed to getting better, and you're committed to making the team better. I get it. Seeking your coach out to talk to them about playtime or their decisions can be a really daunting thing to do, and really difficult, especially if you're younger and your coach is an adult. Trust me, they'll only grow respect for you if you do this the right way. You're not attacking them, you're not coming after their decisions, you're just looking for what you can do to be better and how can you earn more ice time. All right, Goal Guards, that brings us to number 5, and it is our most important step on this entire list, and it's always be ready. Nothing could be worse than doing all of the first 4 steps, talking to your coach, finally getting that opportunity, and then not being ready for it. You want to make sure that every day at practice, you're practicing as if you're playing that very next game. It doesn't matter if you already know the lineup and you know that you're not playing for the next week and a half. If you practice like you're going to play that very next game, when that moment does come and that opportunity does come, you're going to be ready to go. To quote, in my opinion, the greatest coach of all time, Herb Brooks, great moments are born from great opportunity. You have a chance at that great moment, but you have to make sure you've done every little thing leading up to that opportunity to ensure that you're going to have a great moment. You've got to go out there at practice and give 110% every single time. You've got to be the hardest working person out there on the ice and show your teammates you're committed, show your coach you're committed to the team, but more importantly, show yourself that you're committed to yourself. I've seen plenty of goalies and players lose their passion for this great game just because they aren't seeing ice time. It shouldn't matter. If you love this game and you love that feeling of your skates touching the ice every time you hop on for a shift or hop on for a practice or just hop on the frozen pond behind your house during the winter, then you're not going to lose that passion for the game. You've just got to work a little bit harder and make sure when that opportunity does arise, you're ready to turn it into a great moment. All right, Goal Guards. So remember, follow those 5 tips and the Backup Goalie Blues are going to become a distant nightmare, kind of like my guitar playing. Remember, stay focused, clear your mind, play in the moment, always give 110%, and let's be ready for that opportunity when it arises, because we know it's going to arise. Remember, let's turn this guitar in for a hockey stick, and I'll see you down at the Crossroads.